Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So lots to talk about on this current video today, as I currently said. But the first topic of the development I'm going to update you on is in relation to Paul Pogba, of course, as well. You know, big breaking news is coming out of the press saying that reportedly Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United this summer, reportedly as well. After recent reports have come out, that Paul Pogba has been talking, about his desire to play for Real Madrid, and that it would be a dream to play for Real Madrid, and under Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. And according to the media, that reportedly he wants to leave Manchester United this summer. He has currently made a decision, and reportedly Real Madrid are the favourites to get Paul Pogba this summer, of course, as well. But reports have said that he dreams of playing for Real Madrid and playing under Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. And of course, his agent, Riley Ola, is obviously looking at options, for Paul Pogba, of course, as well. He has been rumours that he could, make a return back to the Serie A. Obviously, Barcelona, have been linked to him as well. But I think Real Madrid are front runners, to land Paul Pogba this summer, of course, as well. Either way, Manchester United, do want to try and get Paul Pogba to a new contract, of course, as well, because his current deal, does end in 2021, of course, as well. And he has been one of our most influential players, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in as Paul Pogba. And when he's playing in this kind of vein, he's a player that can be on at least 14 to 15 goals a season, to be quite honest with you as well. And obviously, there was heavy speculation of Paul Pogba leaving, last year, of course, when Jose Mourinho was in charge, due to Paul Pogba's bad relationship, he had with Jose Mourinho, of course, as well. But Paul Pogba was close to leaving, actually, Manchester United last summer, but he stayed at Manchester United, of course. But reports are now coming out saying that Paul Pogba, reportedly himself, from his own perspective, wants to leave Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But he has been one of our most influential players. As I said he performs better when he's playing in an attacking midfielder position, because he provides good service to the front men. He plays them delicate passes through, and he's been in absolutely scintillating form, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in as well. Recent reports did say, he dreams of playing for Real Madrid, but he said he still remains happy at Manchester United for now, as well. But reports are coming out from Spain and all that, and from the AS, saying that reportedly his agent Riley Ola is looking to get him a move, to either Spain or get him a move, back to Italy, of course, as well, because obviously he did have 4 fantastic years, with Juventus, before he came to Manchester United in 2016. Obviously, we paid £89 million for him. Obviously, our most expensive signing, of course, as well. So there has been potential rumours going on that reportedly Real Madrid are the favourites to sign Paul Pogba this summer, because obviously Zinedine Zidane's obviously not too long ago just been reappointed Real Madrid manager, of course, as well. And obviously Zinedine Zidane's going to get around £300 million to spend this summer at Real Madrid. Florentino Perez is going to give him around £300 million to spend this summer, of course, as well. So obviously he's already planning for the investment in Zinedine Zidane. I do think players, will probably, leave Real Madrid this summer, probably including Gareth Bale. There has been rumours, of Rafael Varane, potentially possibly leaving this summer as well. So he has got a few potential targets on his radar, as Zinedine Zidane. But obviously Paul Pogba's French, Zinedine Zidane's French. So I think Paul Pogba, dreams of, playing for Real Madrid. But now reports are coming out saying that reportedly he wants to leave Manchester United at the end of the season, does Paul Pogba. And obviously, with Valencia likely leaving Manchester United this summer, there were reports saying that Paul Pogba is set to be the Manchester United captain, of course, as well. So if Paul Pogba is to leave, then, obviously someone else is going to have to get that captain's armband, of course, as well. So there has been a lot of talks going on about that, in the last 3 or 4 days, I have been hearing as well. But we know players are going to leave Manchester United this summer. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself, I think, wants around 3. I think he said the 3 players he wants sold this summer. He's basically, said this to Manchester United, and he said to Ed Woodward, get rid of Valencia, get rid of Rojo, and get rid of Alexis Sanchez, of course, well. But there could be also other departures as well. And if you have been hearing as well in the media in relation to Ander Herrera, of course, as I've been updating you on a regular basis about Ander Herrera, reports have come out saying that he has basically said, PSG transfer interest is logical, and this is what basically Ander Herrera has currently said. I think he is unsure about his Manchester United future, to be quite honest with you, as Ander Herrera, even though reports have been coming out, in the last 4 or 5 days. I have been hearing, that PSG have expressed an interest in Ander Herrera, of course, as well. Reports were coming out saying saying that reportedly, they were willing to offer him £150,000 a week, plus a 3-year deal as well. But he has classified PSG's transfer interest as logical, and this is what Ander Herrera has said. So he is uncertain about his Manchester United future. Manchester United in process have been in talks of trying to get him a new contract term, of course. Yet, we have yet to come to an agreement yet to get him a new contract term, Ander Herrera, because he comes to an end of his contract term at the end of the season, of course. So PSG themselves, PSG are planning, to get him on a free transfer at the end of the season and offer him around £150,000 a week in wages plus a 3-year deal, of course, as well. But we know how much of an essential player, Ander Herrera has been. He has been one of our key players, especially since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in. This is his 5th season now at Manchester United. Is Ander Herrera's, of course, as well. And during his 10 years of Manchester United play, he has had rough patches as Ander Herrera. Let's be honest. But especially under Mourinho, he wasn't getting that game time, that he would have liked Ander Herrera. But since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in, his performances have been fantastic. Just recovered from a hamstring injury, but his performances have really improved. He's adapting every area of his game, very, very well. He's breaking up the play very, very well, and he has been fitting well in that midfield trio, mainly alongside Matic and Pogba, because that's obviously been Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice midfield trio, obviously. But obviously in most recent weeks, he's been rotating it, obviously, considering the string of injuries, that Manchester United have had as well. So reports still coming out saying that PSG, strongly linked with Ander Herrera. Recent reports did say, he wanted to stay at Manchester United. He was keen on signing a contract extension with Man United as well. But PSG are obviously, have identified, Ander Herrera as a replacement for PSG's Adrien Rabiot, of course, as well, because obviously Adrien Rabiot is set to leave PSG at the end of the season. Reports were coming out yesterday, as I did update you guys on. Reports were coming out yesterday saying that reportedly Ole Gunnar Solskjaer had told Ed Woodward that he basically wants Adrien Rabiot, reportedly. And there's been a few teams, linked with PSG's Adrien Rabiot. I think Liverpool have showed an interest. Arsenal have also, been interested in Adrien Rabiot as well. He's still only young. He's obviously spent the majority of his career so far, with PSG, of course, as well. And he's only very, very young. Is Adrien Rabiot. Obviously, he's been withdrawn from the PSG squad based on his refusal to commit to a new contract, and he comes to an end of his contract at the end of the season. He's won about 16 major honours as Adrien Rabiot as well. Broke into the PSG first team in 2012, of course, as well. For a long time, Barcelona, were the favourites, to actually, land Adrien Rabiot. And it was likely he was going to join Barcelona this summer, was Adrien Rabiot as well. But Barcelona have got a host of midfielders. Obviously, Barcelona have got Frankie de Jong coming in officially in the news next season as well, because obviously Barcelona paid £65 million for Frankie de Jong from Ajax, of course, last summer. So basically, it is a year in advance as well. And Solskjaer's keen in adding depth into our midfield, so he's keen on bringing an attacking midfielder in to Manchester United as well. So reports are still coming out about that PSG is still interested in Herrera, and he's classified PSG transfer interest as logical as Ander Herrera, of course, as well. But as I was saying in relation to Paul Pogba, he has been one of our most influential players, and mainly when he has been playing, he's been getting the freedom, to express himself very, very well indeed. And he's been in great form as Paul Pogba. But maybe, as I did say, recent reports did say, he was happy at Manchester United for now, but maybe his agent, is trying to, get him a move, to either Spain or make a return back to Italy, of course, as well. I'm not sure if Man United have been in, negotiations trying to convince Paul Pogba to sign a new contract at Manchester United as well. But obviously Zinedine Zidane's obviously, planning for the investment. He's signed a contract with Real Madrid till 2022. Zinedine Zidane, this is his second spell in charge of Real Madrid, of course, well, the only manager to win back-to-back Champions League titles, of course, as well. And they're going to get around £300 million to spend this summer, of course, as well. So he won't come cheap, Paul Pogba. Basically, if Man United put him up for sale this summer, I don't think, Manchester United, would want to lose Paul Pogba, because Paul Pogba's getting the best out of Solskjaer. Of course, Solskjaer's getting the best out of Paul Pogba, as well, and he's been in an absolutely great form. But he's just been talking about recently, his dream and his desire, to play under Zinedine Zidane and Real Madrid, and all that. He was saying it's everyone's dream, of course, and this is what, Paul Pogba was mentioning in the media as well. So there's some transfer rumours to update you on. As I did give you an update yesterday, guys, obviously, Solskjaer, I think he wants around 4 signings this summer, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course. I think he told the Manchester United board he wants about 4 summer signings. Recent reports did say, even though I did say Manchester United, do need a centre-back, because we definitely need a world-class centre-back, of course, and we need a defender. Solskjaer said he wasn't interested in buying any defenders this summer. His priority is getting a right winner to Manchester United this summer. So he's focusing on recommending the right winner to come in. So he's focusing on attacking additions to the squad. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think our priority is to get a right winner. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority is to get a right winner to come to Manchester United as well. And he has looked at quite a few as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And as I did say to you yesterday on my video, obviously we've been interested in both Jadon Sancho and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Two of England's youngest upcoming talents as well, in Jadon Sancho and Callum Hudson-Odoi. Jadon Sancho's 19, just turned 19. Callum Hudson-Odoi is 18 years of age as well. So reportedly Manchester United have expressed an interest in both of them, young upcoming players as well. And Jadon Sancho, has actually, been heavily linked with a move to Old Trafford. There's been reports going on about it for the last 4 or 5 weeks now, that Manchester United have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho, of course. Obviously, it did currently say, recent reports have said, basically, our interest in Jadon Sancho, Borussia Dortmund have said, it's completely irrelevant, from their perspective. I mean, reports recently did say, that Dortmund, could demand around £100 million for the player, but now recent reports have said, they've ruled out, selling Jadon Sancho this summer. It did say Manchester United, would believe that we can land him for maybe around £70-80 million or something like that as well. And obviously, if we were to come to an agreement to get him this summer, this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. But Jadon Sancho is an absolutely quality player, and I did say I think Sancho is the solution to Manchester United's problems without a shadow of a doubt, because his performances have been fantastic in Germany with Borussia Dortmund. Since he broke into the first team, he's been really, really good. He's grown, developed, and he's flourishing fantastically well. Is Jadon Sancho, and he's been at Dortmund a couple of seasons now, as we all know. But if we were to offer maybe £100 million this summer, this would probably, convince Dortmund, to sanction him off, even though Dortmund know how much of an essential player he is to them. Of course, Borussia Dortmund, as I did say, have been known for doing business with the players, as I've already spoken about with you. And obviously, reports have been coming out saying, that Man United officials have met up, with Jadon Sancho's representatives over, I think, a 70 million summer transfer move. I think he's keen on making the move to England, of course, because he had experience, of playing in English football, of course, as well. The former Manchester City player, because he did serve 2 years with Manchester City as well, did Jadon Sancho. And I think, it's also said that, that PSG have also expressed an interest in Jadon Sancho as well. But he only turned 19 yesterday, of course, but he's a really, really good player with a lot he's got immense talent as well. But he shows that ability to attack, he scores goals, he provides that with very, very well. And I think, I want him to come to Manchester United this summer. And we have got the financial power, to meet his valuation, of course, because we didn't invest in January, and we're going to get around, I think, £200 million to spend this summer, of course, in the process as well. Jadon Sancho still under contract with Dortmund until 2022, of course, as well. But he did serve a couple of years at Manchester City, but he actually, he never got into the first team with Manchester City, and he wasn't guaranteed regular game time, and this is why he departed Manchester City, and he went to Borussia Dortmund, of course. And that moment in time, back in 2017, Manchester United, were actually linked with Jadon Sancho, and of course, well, I think City inserted a buyback clause in his contract, so if we were to come to an agreement to get him this summer, City would receive around 15% of the transfer fee, as it did currently mention before in the media. But it would be great, he'd complement our team very, very well indeed, and he'd look very, very good in that attacking line. I do think he would stand out, Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. So I think we've identified him as our number one target, for this summer, of course, as well. We've identified him as our number one target, of course, this summer as well. As our number one target this summer, of course, as well. And as I did update you guys yesterday in relation to Callum Hudson-Odoi, the Chelsea youngster as well, the wonder kid Callum Hudson-Odoi, only 18 years of age, of course, as well. But reports are coming out in the last couple of days. I have been hearing, as I actually updated you yesterday, he's a winger. He also can play as a forward as well. That Man United have reportedly joined the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Obviously, back in January, Bayern Munich, actually were on the verge of, getting a Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. Bayern Munich put, quite a host of bids, for Callum Hudson-Odoi, but reportedly Chelsea had turned these bids down. I think Chelsea had turned about 3 or 4 bids down, from Bayern Munich in the process, because Bayern Munich were also willing to offer him the number 10 shirt, of course, as well, because obviously Arjen Robben is set to leave Bayern Munich, of course, this summer, as well. And Bayern Munich are looking to get some young players in their team, because, let's be honest, they have got quite a few aging up players of Bayern Munich, but Bayern Munich were on the brink of getting, Callum Hudson-Odoi back in January. It obviously was Bayern Munich's top priority was Callum Hudson-Odoi as well, but they failed in the process because Chelsea were reluctant to let Callum Hudson-Odoi leave back in January. Initially, Callum Hudson-Odoi back in January initially put a transfer request in. Chelsea were reluctant to let him leave. Chelsea tried convincing him to sign a new contract, but he refused to sign a new contract, and he has indicated he's not close to signing a new deal with Chelsea. But his current deal ends in 2020. Does Callum Hudson-Odoi. It's more than likely that Bayern Munich, will revive their interest this summer for Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. But I don't think Chelsea will sell this summer. Especially now that they've got this transfer ban. They have appealed against the decision of Chelsea, but they have got this transfer ban, and obviously they can't find replacements, of course, as well, Chelsea, of course. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, reportedly Manchester United have joined the race for him. It's also said Liverpool have expressed an interest. It's also said Borussia Dortmund have expressed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi as well, and there has been speculation of him leaving, due to lack of game time he's been getting, because he hasn't even started a game in the Premier League this season as Callum Hudson-Odoi. He has been playing regularly, in the Europa League, and he's been playing in other competitions as Callum Hudson-Odoi, and he has been in great form, but in the league, he hasn't started a Premier League game, Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. And he's only 18 years of age, and he has, got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you, as well. But there has been reports going on about that. So Man United have joined the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Probably will cost in the excess of around £30 million this summer. But I think it will be hard to, come to an agreement with Chelsea on this, because obviously, Chelsea have got a transfer ban, and Chelsea can't do any transfer activity this summer. They can't do any transfer activity in the next January transfer window. So they can't do any, they can't do any transfer activity until the summer of 2020, of course, as well. And this was obviously, for breaching regulations around the transfer of minors, of course, as well. And obviously Chelsea themselves, could lose Eden Hazard this summer. Of course, Chelsea would obviously, want to lose Eden Hazard this summer, of course. I know Real Madrid have been long admirers of the play. Eden Hazard was speaking last summer himself, saying that he reportedly wanted to leave Chelsea. He said this after the World Cup and that, and I think he intends to go to Real Madrid this summer, especially now that Zinedine Zidane has been reappointed, of course, as well. I think Eden Hazard could end up leaving Chelsea this summer. He's going to probably cost around Real Madrid around £100 million to get Eden Hazard, of course, this summer. But Chelsea know how much of an essential player he is. He's been at Chelsea since 2012. This is his 7th season now at Stamford Bridge. Scored over 100 odd goals. I think it's in all competitions. I'm not sure, it might be the Premier League, and he's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions as well as Eden Hazard. And Chelsea have tried to convince him to sign a new contract. He's refused this. Worth around £300,000 a week, but his current deal ends in 2020. Does Eden Hazard as well? I still think potentially he's one of the best players in the Premier League. I think he's behind Salah and Kevin De Bruyne, Eden Hazard, of course. But Chelsea wouldn't want to lose him this summer, especially now that they aren't going to be able to find a replacement for Eden Hazard, of course, as well. And they'll be disappointed that now obviously they can't find a replacement for Fabregas this summer, of course, as well. They intended to do that in January when Fabregas left, but obviously they couldn't find that replacement for Cesc Fabregas, of course, as well. So Chelsea basically, they know investment is needed into their team, but obviously they've got this current transfer ban at the moment, as well. But teams are in the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi. Manchester United have joined the race. Says Liverpool are interested, Borussia Dortmund are interested, but Bayern Munich, obviously, we're on the verge of getting Callum Hudson-Odoi, back in January, of course. Well, he actually did want to make the move to Bayern Munich, but obviously Chelsea were reluctant to let him leave, of course, as well. Another transfer rumours I want to give you an update on, as I've been keeping you up to date regularly, that we do know that Manchester United, of course, do need a strong central defender, as we all know. We need an experienced centre-back. We need a world-class centre-back, of course, as well. And we haven't had a world-class centre-back, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand. And we do know we've been linked with a host of central defenders, of course, to be quite honest here. Obviously, the number one is obviously, Napoli's Koulibaly, but if we don't get Koulibaly, we found other alternative options, we're looking at as well. But reports have been coming out in the last couple of days. I have been hearing about Koulibaly, as I've actually been updating you on as well, that reportedly Manchester United have been informed that Koulibaly is going to cost us in the region of around at least £130 million. If Napoli are going to, if Napoli are willing to do any business, for the player this summer. So reportedly it's going to cost Manchester United around £130 million to get Koulibaly this summer. And I think the Napoli president has confirmed, they're demanding that they want a world record transfer fee for the player if Napoli are willing to do any business business this summer. So Man United and Manchester United willing to pay at least £130 million for Koulibaly this summer. Obviously, we've been long admirers of the player. We've been linked to him in the past 2 transfer windows. We're linked to him last summer, linked to him back in January as well. And Man United were in talks back in January. Manchester United had 3 bids turned down for Koulibaly back in January. The recent one was £95 million, of course, as well. And he has still got a contract with Napoli till 2023, as Koulibaly, as we all know, as well. And Napoli only paid 6 or 7 million pounds for him from Genk. So he has been at Napoli a number of years now. He's been at Napoli since 2014, or something like that as well. He's grown, developed, and flourished fantastically well. And he would address our defensive deficiencies fantastically well. And we do need someone that can go alongside Victor Lindelof. To be quite honest, and I think Koulibaly and Victor Lindelof, would complement each other fantastically well, indeed. So Koulibaly, I think, is Manchester United's number 1 target. It's also said that Madrid have been interested, Barcelona have been interested, Chelsea have also, monitored an interest in Koulibaly as well. But reports do say Napoli want around 130 million at least. Obviously, if this was to succeed, it would be, it would become the most, it would become the most expensive. It would. Sorry about that. It would become the most expensive defender in world football, would Koulibaly as well. And obviously, it would become our most expensive signing, of course, as well, if we were to get him in the process. And obviously, he'd look good alongside Lindelof, to be quite honest, because Koulibaly adapts every area of his game very, very well. He's tall as well, he's good in the air, and he shows that ability to play out from the back. And Napoli do know how much of an essential player he is. But if Manchester United are not willing to pay up to 130 million, then obviously we're not going to have any chance of getting Koulibaly this summer, of course, as well. But I've been impressed with Lindelof this season. His performances have been very, very impressive, showing that determination. He can play out from the back. He gallops forward, fantastically well as well. There's Victor and Lindelof. So his performances this season have been very, very impressive. So we do need someone that can go alongside him. We do know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer recently has been going with Smalling and Victor Lindelof as a centre-back partnership. Since Smalling's recovered from injury, his performances have improved, to be fair, and he has been going with Smalling and Lindelof as a centre-back partnership. And to quite fair, they have blended in very, very well together, to be quite honest with you as well. Smalling's been here 9 years now at Manchester United. He's made over 300 appearances. He won everything, domestically as well. Obviously, Bay as well, he's initially lost his place in the team. So if a new centre-back was to come in, could it see Bay leave this summer as well? Even though I do highly rate him, he's got great potential as Eric Bay, of course, as well. But we do need someone mainly, to go alongside Lindelof, and, Koulibaly, would be fantastic indeed. And there's other defenders Manchester United have been linked to. And we do know that reports have recently, been coming out about Harry Maguire, as well as they have been keeping you up to date on in relation to Harry Maguire, the Leicester central defender. Reports are coming out saying that Manchester United have been told that Leicester reportedly want around £90 million Harry Maguire if they are willing to do any business. Initially, he was rated at around 65 million, or was it 75 million pounds, something like that. But reportedly, we've got to break our transfer record in the process, to land Harry Maguire this summer, because reports did say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is keen on Manchester United, going all out, to sign Harry Maguire this summer. Obviously, he was one of our targets last summer, of course. Well, and obviously last summer, Jose Mourinho, had a list of targets. Obviously, the board weren't backing, the signings that Jose Mourinho wanted to recommend to come in. Obviously, and we had the disappointing transfer window last summer, of course, as well. So as I did say, it's essential that we invest this summer, of course, so we can elevate to a high level, so we can potentially be title contenders for the new season, as well, hopefully, as well. But Harry Maguire, he's Premier League proven, as I said. I think he's open to the move as well. And obviously, Harry Maguire is he maybe wants to go to a team that's capable of winning trophies, capable, of challenging for trophies as well, and obviously playing to the highest level. And obviously, he ain't going to be doing this with Leicester. Is Harry Maguire, of course, as well. But reportedly, he will cost around £90 million this summer. Will Harry Maguire? He's still got a contract with Leicester till 2023, of course, as well. So potentially, he's been also a Manchester United target as well. And yeah, and we know that we've been linked to him with a host of defenders, to be quite honest with you, as well. But as I did say to you guys, the players I do expect, to leave Manchester United this summer. We know definitely, Valencia's on his way out of Manchester United. Obviously, he's been one longest serving player here. This is his 10th season out at Manchester United. Antonio Valencia's, of course, as well. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions, and he's obviously out at the moment with a calf injury. But obviously, we've opted against that decision to give him that new 1-year extension. So he's on his way out this summer. I think Darmian could possibly leave this summer as well, because he's endured a difficult time as a Manchester United player. Rojo's on his way out of Manchester United as well, and that's one of the players I think Solskjaer wants Ed Woodward to get rid of. Marcus Rojo just recovered from long-term absence. Obviously, he struggled at Manchester United as a player, with a string of injuries he's had. So this is basically means he's struggled with his fitness regime and all that. As Marcus Rojo, he's versatile, he's good there as a backup option. But a new centre back comes in the summer. He's definitely on his way out of Manchester United. Is Marcus Rojo, of course, as well. And obviously in relation to Alexis Sanchez, yeah, he's definitely on his way out of Manchester United as well. He's endured a very, very difficult time as a Manchester United player, as Alexis Sanchez as well. He's been here just over a year. Look at the string of injuries, that Alexis Sanchez has currently suffered in the process. He suffered about 3 injuries. He's obviously out now with a knee injury, but obviously it's going to be hard to find a buy for Sanchez this summer. Obviously, considering the substantial wages he's currently receiving, Alexis Sanchez, it's over £500,000 a week, and Solskjaer, I think, lost faith in him. He's lost trustworthy in him, and he's 30 now, and he's aging up. He's lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you as well. But when he has been given the opportunity, he's been very, 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 very poor indeed, and he's been very, very inconsistent as Sanchez. So I think he's on his way out this summer. So we may consider loaning him out, or maybe getting Sanchez, to accept a wage cut. I don't know, or something like that as well. So Sanchez is definitely on his way out of Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. But he just emphasises how ineffective Sanchez has been. When he has been playing, lack of goals, lack of assists, and everything, and he just looks so restricted. When he has been given the opportunity to play as well. So he's definitely on his way out of Manchester United. And as I was saying, yes, so reports are also coming out in relation to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, saying that reportedly he could be handed the Manchester United job, in the next couple of days, or, sometime this week, of course, as well. Based on his fantastic progression, he's done so far as Manchester United manager. Of course, we've won 14 out of 19 in all competitions, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in. And to be fair, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, has rejuvenated the team, to be quite fair. He's got the team, playing with freedom. He's got the team, scoring goals, creating more chances, and all that, as well. And it's good to see that, the young players are gaining Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's trust, as well. But reports are coming out saying that he could be handed the job this week, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It did say Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's agents, is set to, negotiate with Ed Woodward about, getting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a permanent contract at Manchester United. Of course, we'll have to pay around £8 million compensation package, to mould as well. So that's very, very cheap indeed, because initially at the moment we've paid 1.8 million, to give him the job on a temporary basis, of course, as well. And obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, is obviously, obviously making plans for the summer. He's been in discussions, with Ed Woodward, what players, what players should come and what players should go in the summer as well. And he has been discussing our transfer activity for the summer, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he is on the verge of getting the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. Obviously, he's going to get around £200 million. He's going to get around £200 million to spend this summer as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I think my manager, and let's be honest, he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer hasn't got a fantastic one in terms of like winning any major honours or having any long tenures and stuff, because he had a short tenure with Cardiff. He had 2 spells with Moldham as well. He managed the Manchester United reserve team for a couple of years as well. So he'll think to the head of the next 5 or 10 years, Solskjaer, if he does get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, of course, as well. Obviously, it's essential anyway. We're looking, to either win the Champions League this season so we can get Champions League for next season, or if we don't win the Champions League, get top 4. There's quite a few teams, don't forget, going for that top 4, of course, as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. I think he scored 126 goals in all competitions. One of his most iconic moments as a player was obviously in 1999 in the Champions League final as well. But he was a great player for 11 years, and he won a lot of trophies as well. Hasn't really proven this as manager at the moment, like winning hasn't proven this in the process of rebuilding. We've done really, really well as well, considering the amount of injuries, that Manchester United have had as well. And we still know that, rumours have been coming out about Mauricio Pochettino and all that as well, because for a long time, number one to come to Manchester United, and he has been Ed Woodward's number 1 choice. He did possibly say that Ed Woodward, could possibly want Pochettino's Manchester United manager. Man United is still looking at the possibility of Pochettino. Manchester United now have actually cooled their interest in Pochettino, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does remain favourite, to be quite honest with you, as well. So Pochettino, I wouldn't want him anywhere. He's Premier League proven, and he's done a really, really good job with Tottenham. He has got more managerial experience than Solskjaer and all that, because this is his 5th season with Tottenham, but Pochettino doesn't know the club inside out like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He hasn't proven himself any silverware anyway, because he hasn't won silverware as manager. At the money cost us around 35-40 pounds in compensation anyway, and with that money, we could get a signing with that money, of course, as well. And he won't leave Tottenham anywhere. Tottenham have got the new stadium now, as I did see on the TV the other day as well. It looks very, very nice, to be quite honest with you. And it has took a long time, to build. Obviously, as well, I'll have to have a bit of a look more at it. Yeah, quite honestly, as well. But yeah, Man United have looked to Pochettino for a long time. But it says on the press that Solskjaer could get the Manchester United job this week, reportedly. But won it officially announced before the end of the season, of course. But despite back-to-back defeats, we had, before the international break, Solskjaer for me is still the right man for Manchester United, of course, as well. And obviously, we want to get prepared, after this international break and get back to winning ways against Watford at home. Then 3 days later, go to Wolves away, and then I think it's the first leg against Barcelona in the Champions League quarter-finals as well. And so the main part of this video, guys, I wanted to give up there, was obviously, in relation, to Paul Pogba, reports coming out saying that reportedly he wants to leave Manchester United at the end of the season, reportedly, reports saying that his agent, Riley Early, is looking for options for him, I think his agent, Riley Early, is looking, to get him a move to either Spain or get him a move, back to Italy, of course, as well as reports do currently mention. But he was discussing about Paul Pogba, his dream to play for Real Madrid and play under Zinedine Zidane, and all that, as well. But recent reports did say he was happy at Manchester United, for now, to be quite honest here as well. But, Paul Pogba could reportedly leave Manchester United this summer. And obviously, give you the update on Ander Herrera, of course, as well, saying that he's classified PSG's transfer interest as logical, and this is what basically Ander Herrera said. And I think he's uncertain about his Manchester United future and all that as well. I think he has got 3 months left on his contract, Ander Herrera, as well, in the process. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider subscribe to my channel, as always.